The pandemic has impacted everyone in so many different ways, from losing loved ones to job loss and heightened health concerns. We've all made sacrifices, and kids are no exception. Fox 12 Sarah Hurwitz joins us now live with a look at the mental health toll this pandemic has taken on our younger generation and how they've learned to be resilient. Sarah.
Well, hi, Nora. Our story centers around a junior who attends Lincoln High School here, and really the jolting change of having to deal with going from class here every day to sitting behind a computer, and the dramatic shift his pediatrician says she's seen nearly every day in her patients. 17-year-old Ethan Rodriguez could have never imagined that leaving for spring break last year marked the drastic transition to a new way of life.
I was saying goodbye to my friends that I only know from school, and I was like, bye, see you in a week.
Except that turned into a year of no learning inside the classroom or seeing friends in person. He and his family all homebound with various computer setups for school or work.
I think that the major mental health stuff comes in where the days get really repetitive and they all start to feel the same.
The end of the day, at 6 o'clock, and all of us sort of emerged from our various computers, just sort of glazed and tired, and then doing that under, kind of repeat for the next, year. It's been difficult.
For Ethan and many kids during the pandemic, they've had to make the harsh adjustment to a lack of in-person interaction and learning over a screen.
So I'll go into a breakout room and I'll say something and then no one will respond, and then we'll just sit in silence for 45 minutes, and that really is hard because I really like working with classmates and like working in a team on projects.
And Ethan says if he doesn't feel he knows the teacher that well, it's tough to reach out for help.
I don't know if they're going to respond, and they're also still really busy.
What are some of the things that you have struggled with?
Isolation's definitely been hard. There's probably been a month where I just didn't see anyone besides everyone in my family, like in person.
But his dad, Tony, recognizes that his son and other kids have found ways to adapt by connecting with friends online.
I'm going to go out and figure out how to not be isolated. And I think that's pretty neat. And I think for some kids, it's pretty empowering.
They have really taken steps to stay away from their friends, limit their activities. They've done all these things. So the big thing I always tell them, it's my job to make sure they're okay. That's my job, to help them through this, because they have done so much for us.
Ethan's pediatrician, Ann Vestergaard, who sees patients at this clinic in Northeast Portland, wants to recognize that sacrifice and bring attention to the mental health impacts that the pandemic is having on kids. She says in her 20 years in practice, she has never seen so many patients for mental health.
And I walked in the room and I just said, hello, how are you? And he started crying. And that is not unusual. It is pretty much expected for me to have all my older kids to be having something going on.
And she says she's prescribing more medications for anxiety and depression in children. And mental health resources, she says, are stretched slim.
As soon as you have a list of names, those people are booked.
And so she's taking on a role she's not even trained for, but is doing the best she can.
I will see those patients pretty quickly just to talk to them, touch base with them, and I'm sure every pediatrician is doing the exact same thing.
And for Ethan, who plans on returning to the classroom soon, he's looking forward to that change and hopes that parents understand that kids need a break from the repetition of this pandemic.
I think my generation is very good at hiding how they're feeling. So there's a lot of kids going through stuff, more than I think the parents of those kids know.
Now take a look here. Here's some resources if you are concerned about your child. You can contact the Multnomah County Mental Health Call Center. Dr. Vestergaard says if your child is actively suicidal, she says unfortunately the emergency department is really the only option right now. Now, also coming up tonight, an important discussion that's happening. Students at Lincoln High School, they are hosting a virtual conversation and really talking about some of the mental health issues that teens are dealing with, so parents can listen in and also hear how they can talk to their teens. That's coming up at 6:30, from 6:30 to 8 p.m., and we will have a link to that on our website, kptv.com. Reporting live here in Southwest Portland, Sarah Hurwitz, Fox 12 Oregon.